Well, I'm standing in Mableton, Georgia at Church Street. And this is the slave house that I've told you that I had to work on finding the history on for the Mabel house. I thought they had torn it down, you all, and I was about to cry. Okay, but it's still up. It's a 2-room house. You might be able to see the bullets in the house where it went through. Now, this is a house that the Klan shot through and they was trying to burn it down. So the history tells on it. But I found the death certificate of the lady that lived in this house. Her name was Celia Mabel. Celia Mabel. Her daughter, Miss Anderson, to y'all Andersons and to you Watkins and all different ones, this is the house. They told me, here's a Route 1 death certificate, a Route 1 card. This lady has no relatives. And in order to build the amphitheater, we have to clear all these graves. I took it to Elder Roy Harton Sr., who was the superintendent over the Emerson district in Emerson, Georgia. And I said, Elder Harton, here's the picture that Phil McLemore had given to me. I think that's who gave it to me. And they said they can't find this lady. The lady lived in Smyrna, Georgia. And if you go back and read Dr. Ed Field's report on Smyrna, Georgia and things they did, see, we was on top of it with the NAACP. Okay, I gave it to him. The lady, aunt, Miss Maddie Clowers, her sister, not her aunt, it was her sister. Maddie Lou was the sister of Miss Anderson. Miss Anderson was the daughter of Celia, who lived in this house, the slave. They gave me all the information, and I had to go, and I went to Cox Funeral Home down on Auburn Avenue. When I tell you they're good white people, Dr. Clark was Celia's or Miss Anderson or one of them doctor. I think it was Celia. And when Celia died, she had stomach cancer. And so they took her. She was one of the higher class black folks with the master. Her name became Mabel because she was a part of the master could give her a name. And Celia Mabel got real sick and she died. And if you listen to the video that I posted with Willie Freeman, okay, who was the one that helped to save our 80th governor's life. When you look at that video and listen to Freeman, I had to take Justice Robert Benham. He was the first black Chief Justice. Justice Benham saved my life, y'all. And Justice Benham know how he saved my life. Jim Galloway know how Justice Benham saved my life. Justice Robert Benham from Cartersville saved Mary Cater's life. Yes, he did. I had to take him that video with Willie Freeman on it. And Justice Benham's family, if you look at the other video that I posted from the Rosewood, that was the Benham's property. Okay, from the Rosewheel on Highway 41, that school was a big thing, y'all. And so her story, they shot into the house, and the bullets are still in the house. Okay. The free clinic is right over there. But sometimes I just come and sit and look at it. See how the tree is dying by the house. I just wish, and I just pray, even if they sold it to the Mabel house, that's a part of history. Mableton, Georgia. There, our history is right there. I'm showing it to you today, and I'm not going to take a long time on this right here. That house is worth $1 zillion. That is the purpose of Juneteenth. Juneteenth. That's the purpose of it right there. It don't make me hate to know my history. I don't dislike nobody because that happened here. I love. I was excited to learn my history. I was excited that they picked me. I tell you, I probably should have been shot after because I did a lot of work, y'all. I shouldn't have been shot after. It was my son that was shot after. We shouldn't have been messed with. Yeah, let me get that straight. But this is the house. I had to go to Seller Brothers, who was an old cemetery, old um, undertaker. And another person that helped me was Bill Kinney of the Marietta Daily Journal. I didn't know what the poorhouse was. I didn't know they found some bones up on the Marietta School, and they used to put the black peoples in the poorhouse. It was called the poorhouse. The arms. He taught me. He said that's what it was. The arms. And that's how we found out about the deaths at May Ward Funeral Home. May Ward are smart peoples, y'all. May Ward Funeral Home has a lot of history. Those Presbyterians have a lot of history, y'all. I worked with the Latter-day Saint, the Mormons. I worked with the Quakers. Y'all, little black me worked with all them people. The 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 Quaker, no, the Quakers. The Quakers sent me to Washington, D.C., to Georgetown University. I see a dog. I'm getting in my car. They sent me to Georgetown University to speak for 9 to 5 working women. Flew me there. Y'all remember when the airplane went into the botanical water? Okay, I was on an airplane too, up that way. I remember when they got those peoples out of that water. That's the year that I went up there. And when I tell you that a lot of folks rallied around me, um, after our house was firebombed, that's why they rallied around. It was a really big issue to them. Don't you move. Don't you leave here. So a lot of folks helped. A lot of people's helped. A lot of people's came to our rescue. A lot of people stood, Xenophon, behind us, beside us. Yes, a lot of people's did it. And so I needed to show you this house, this historic house right here. That's a historic house. That's a slave's house. I found her death certificate at Cox. Bill Kinney was the one that helped me to get to Cox Funeral Home on Auburn Avenue. These death certificates were not recorded. And if you go if you go to the National Archive now, where me and my sister Suzanne went, okay, at the National Archive, they're up to year 1940 something. It may be 50 now. That all them death certificates, all that history that was never put into national history, they're putting that history into the system. They're putting it even down in Griffin. We went to find our family there. They're recording all of that history. Well, Celia, the Carols, a lot of them. I had to find those death certificates because we had to have authentic information to prove that we wasn't just telling a story. We had to have authentic information. This little bitty house, they shot into that room right there, and they sent a burning something. It burnt in that room right there where the Klan tried to burn it down. Okay, but it did not burn. It's a fireplace somewhere, right? That's the front door. And it's a fireplace somewhere right there in the middle. As I end, let me say, I can understand why white peoples don't want that slavery information told, but now that house ain't went nowhere. But it is history. It's good information. It's if that house could be put over on Green Grove, it's nothing but land and cemeteries over there. So the young peoples in Mableton can walk through that house. And it'll, y'all, if you sit out here by it, it'll give you a feeling of being close to them. If they could sit in that house, go through that house, and look at artifacts, it'll make them feel good. It'll make them feel better going through that house and even at the South Car. But if they opened up the other house I'm finna show you and let the young folks and the different one, today is the day. Juneteenth, the house should have been open. That the places should have been open. You didn't do it. You ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. But this is my history. This is my people. These are my family. Y'all Felkers up in Chicago, this is the house that my Uncle Guida would come to. Any descendants he have up there, here's your descendants right here. Yes, yes, I remember my Uncle Guida. I was a little girl, but I remember my Uncle Guida. Yes, I remember my uncle. And I did the history on him. God bless you.